forcing divorces to be more contentious than they would otherwise have to be.
1, 2, 3.
Not contentious. What I'm saying is that they need to provide a reason.
Why? What consideration do you or the courts have in a contract between two parties?
Because in any other judicial system, there has to be evidence. There has to be proof.
No, because it's not a criminal charge. It's a contract dispute. Like divorce is actually a liquidation. There are two parties to the contract. The court is asked to liquidate the assets. That's what that is.
Yeah, but again, like the question that I'm posing is why should you have the option to say there's no reason?
Because you're the two people involved in the contract. Nobody else has any interest in this contract. Nobody else is party to it.
False.
Why on earth would anybody else be able to say they should not be able to have the contract as they made it?
Because there's more than two parties involved in the contract.
No, there's not. And if you say God, I'm going to shit on your face.
It was God all along. Plot twist.
So, like for example, like green card marriages, like that's defrauding the state. But if you say there's no reason,
oh, green card marriages,
green card,
yeah, right.
Yeah.
Also, if there's no third party flow, then your state can't get involved either. So it's just your feelings versus my feelings.
The state cannot get involved in a divorce unless they're invited in to officiate it.
Then they can't get involved with the marriage either.
What the fuck do you mean? I don't care. Leave them out of the marriage. That's fine. I'm fine with that.
Because you said there's only two parties. So if the state is
there
one
are
of the
two parties. Yes, there are two parties. The contract is between two parties. The court is never a party to the contract. What it is it's asked to meet or to officiate over the liquidation of the assets within the marriage.
Okay, so if there's only two parties involved, what happens when one party defaults? Who gets to decide punishment?
It's not a punishment situation. It's like,
of course
it's like,
it is. We have
no.
rules.
It's not. This is what's wrong with you people.
We
no,
live in a society.
It's a dissolution of a partnership. You can.
So
you
there
can
should be no laws and no.
Fine. If we started a channel together, and then I realized immediately that I can't stand you, we could liquidate the YouTube channel, right? We could dissolve the company we had created together, and it's not. There's no punishment necessary.
And if you were sleeping around on me, I should get all the money. Them's the
No, you would be sleeping around on me because I would pimp that ass out.
By the way, Teriyaki, since you didn't answer my comment, is there any other reason to get divorced other than adultery?
Yes, I gave the reasons at the start.
I didn't ask you, stupid ass Teriyaki.
So there was adultery, cruelty or domestic violence, abandonment or desertion, imprisonment, substance abuse.
Okay, so what if I were
illness.
to tell you that the only valid reason for divorce is adultery? What would you say to that?
Okay, so like, what if they defraud you?
Did I stutter? The only valid reason for divorce.
Nobody else on the panel lives in your goddamn weird paradigm.
Teriyaki might. Teriyaki, are you a religious man?
I'm agnostic. Although I do theology show and stuff like that.
Pound it.
I thought you were like one of those leaning towards a
look. Teriyaki is coming along nicely.
He's been arguing on secular levels all night, so he hasn't thrown any. I threw the religion in earlier, but he's been arguing on.
I'm trying to drag him into a religious debate, but
yeah, but this is not a religious discussion. Marriage has two components: the religious and the.
Well, then what meaning does marriage have, Flo?
Okay, my God. There are two separate words. It's the same word, but it has two separate things. The legal component applies to everybody who's married. The religious component applies to people who want it to apply to them. But your religion doesn't apply to my fucking marriage.
Does your state apply to my marriage?
I don't give a fuck.
You're within that state.
I would be fine with them not applying.
So then it's just up to every couple to define marriage as they please.
Sure, if they want to do that, I don't give a fuck.
Dude, how
I'm not married
are
to
you?
them.
Then why have a society standard called marriage? Why don't you just call it dating?
I don't care what you call it. You can literally call it a double bacon cheeseburger.
Because words have meaning, Flo. If you're just dating, that's not the foundation in which to build a family upon.
Grid One, will you tell this motherfucker to shut up?
No, Grid One's got some. Are you religious, Grid One?
I did put a goal in the chat.
I generically don't argue from religious standpoints.
Are you religious? Was my question.
But do you hate I-Fi too? Yes, he does.
I mean, I don't know how to answer.
Flo, I put a goal in the chat, $100 to boot I-5 for the night, and he's gone.
Are you religious? Was my question, Grid One.
Yeah, I'm
yes
religious.
No?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Grid One and I can actually define marriage and argue it,
No,
but
Grid
the rest
One
of you heathens
I admitted
cannot.
through his long ass, loud ass silence that he can't stand you either.
It doesn't matter. He'll still agree with me, though. Grid One, would you agree that God defines marriage?
If you're religious, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm one of those that don't understand why, you know, I don't understand why you would get married if you're not religious.
That's what I just asked Flo that, but he ran away because he's scared.
No,
so
he's
he
getting
won't
his
answer.
sunglasses. It's a thing.
No, he rage quit. As soon as I come
Nah,
on
I didn't
panel,
rage.
he always rage
Well,
quits.
first of all, I don't think Flo would rage quit about that. I mean, I've said a
just
lot
fucking
of
with
really
him,
mean,
dude. I know.
mean things to Flo, and he hasn't rage quit. So I'm gonna go with he's.
Let me
pretty
pose the
good.
question to you that
He's
has
durable.
teriyaki.
Ghosty
since he's not
responded, and
religious.
she said, "It's none of your business." That's
It's
why.
all my business, Ghosty. Get your ass
Not
up out
you.
here.
She's talking to Grid, dumbass.
I know, but
Really?
I'm dragging her on panel.
What's not my business?
It's all of our business.
Why two people would choose to get married without religious beliefs?
It is.
Yeah, I
certainly
don't
my
understand
business.
why, but that doesn't mean I care. Not understanding. A lot of people infer things.
Oh man. Well, actually, I
look.
had a thought process to you, Teriak, because you were asking why not just go for fault, and I was thinking about that while I was tinkling. I was thinking about you.
Well, that's weird.
Weird.
So shut the fuck up. So I
Kinda
was
hot,
thinking that shut up, I-Fi. Just because.
I see
My
your sunglasses and I raise you.
Oh Jesus!
It's
Just
a
Now I
blowjob.
gotta go to the
because.
garage and get mine. Damn it.
That
Just
was the
because-
goal the whole time because you made me walk outside in the cold.
All right, I'm putting the
Yeah,
boyfriends
I'm not
next to
doing
each other. Just because my spouse broke their vows doesn't mean I'm going to as well. And how I say that is just because he did damage or
If I'd
hurt
known you,
me
then you would
or
have.
just because he did shitty things to me doesn't mean that I didn't break my vows, right? Like that's how I look at it. I'm going to still love them as a person, care, all of those things, but I cannot go forward in that marriage knowing that he does not uphold his vows because he has broken that vow. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to uphold mine. And that's from like the religious piece of it. If I could throw that in there.
Yeah, but there's a difference between being nice and then being kind. Being kind is holding them accountable for their actions.
No, it's not. That's being arrogant and hubristic. Like, how much hubris does it take for you, little Teriak, who's never been married, to think that you have the solution for other people's marriages?
It's Lil Yak, okay? Lil Yak, that's my
Lil
rapper
Yak,
name is
my
Lil
bad,
Yak.
Lil Yak.
It's teriyaki.
No, it's
Also,
not.
what was the
why are
question
you
again?
arguing fault as from an agnostic point of view? I'm so confused.
Because
I know,
I do
your
what I
religion
want,
is
I fight.
And the religious
I'm
girl
telling
is
you.
arguing for no fault. I'm so
telling
confused. Is
I'm
this
telling
Bizarro
you,
world?
fault will
Really?
do more damage, especially if it's a man. It will do more damage to him than going for no fault.
That's
I
the
promise.
point.
But if he's at fault, he should be held accountable.
That's the
No,
point,
you guys-
Sarah.
why are
Why
you-
is teriyaki
what?
the agnostic explaining this
No,
to
why
you?
does Teriyaki?
He's
What
not
does
agnostic.
Teriyaki has with somebody that he wants to
What
hold
he said.
accountable? Nobody hurts you, and that you need to hold them accountable.
No, it sounds like his daddy.
Your
got
parents
up
are
and
divorced,
left.
aren't you? Aren't they?
Yeah, it
It was
sounds
their
like
parents, yeah.
daddy.
Because of
Daddy
you two,
did
wasn't
mommy wrong, or
Yeah.
mommy did daddy wrong, and he's
No,
still holding
they got
that.
divorced because Teriyaki.
It's all your fault.
It wasn't
Teriak.
your fault,
parents
Dylan.
didn't tell you.
So my parents are still happily married.
Yeah.
They hate each other.
Eat it.
Each other. Your dad's out flying his secretaries out to Vegas every weekend. Your mama's banging the pool boy.
Blown out and blown out. Is that what
Yeah,
we're
they're
saying?
I wish I had a
happy-
pool.
They're happily married, doing other things.
You wish he had a
Sarah,
pool.
You mean other people?
It rains like 250 days out of the 365 of the year in Ireland. A pool in Ireland is like having a chocolate flavored ashtray. You know what I'm saying? It's completely useless. Or a cock flavored lolly. It's
got an
completely
indoor
useless.
pool.
It's
Yeah.
more snuggle Netflix and chill weather up there, I think.
Yeah, exactly. See
Whatever.
Flo knows.
Flo knows.
So,
yeah.
grid one, can you translate for me? Why is the agnostic arguing for fault divorce and the
Hey, he's
religious
not
person?
agnostic.
He said he was.
He's
Are
confused.
you
You know-
lying, Teriyaki?
No, 100%. Like I said, I the only thing I know is to say I don't know.
That's interesting.
I thought you said you're agnostic. Are you lying or not?
You
Yes
are
or no?
so annoying, IFI.
I gotta know who I'm arguing against.
Why
'Cause
don't
I'm
you? Why don't
confused
you
as
do
fuck.
this shit on your channel?
You need to petition.
Okay, come over to my channel.
chat. You need
So-
to petition to the chat.
I really dislike arguing this from a religious standpoint because people simply may not be religious. I much prefer my simple position on no fault divorce is if there's no fault, then then everybody just leaves with what they came in with, right? There's no you don't get a paycheck every week from the dude or the woman if the roles are reversed or whatever, because no fault means no paycheck for
But there are moral
The assets
implications
will
to
If that were the
divorce.
paradigm, and you got divorced, that might be an issue.
morality. Once you look, if you're looking at a divorce, morality is left the channel, bro.
Correct.
Well,
For the participants. For the
To be
participants,
honest with you,
I
like,
agree.
If you're doing no fault divorce, then you're guaranteed to be immoral. So that's why we
No,
have fault.
here's
right?
the
Yeah.
paradigm.
Why are you bringing up morality in an immoral?
Because
act?
that's the only context in which marriage matters.
But the reason
Well, but
why
then if
you
it
can't
is
trace
religious-
religious,
Volume way down.
if it is religious, then you should be seeking guidance from your church,
Exactly.
and starting
that.
there. But you still have the legal factor available to you. Have to go through the legal factor because if you get married legally, then you have to divorce legally. But I think if you're banking on the religious aspect, you need to follow those steps first. And that's a good, like I had conversations with my priests and all those things and yada, yada, yada.
And I hear a lot of religious people trying to use the state as a scapegoat. They're like, well, my church doesn't approve of the divorce, but my government does, so I'll just take the government side.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll take it up with them. I guess.
Yeah, I mean,
That's my point, Grid One.
I guess I don't care. I mean, look, if you're not right with God, you're the one going to hell, not me.
Yeah, and why
Right, but
does
if you
God
could-
doesn't need IFI to take shit up for him. He's God.
Correct.
But if your spouse divorces you and says the state approved it, who are you to object?
Yeah, guess what? If your wife wants to leave you, she should be able to leave your fucking ass.
Is that
So-
how marriage works, Grid One?
Well, to
How
some
mine did.
degree, I mean, look, I've been married 19 years now, and there have been times early on, not so much the last 10 years or so, but early on, there were some times where it was like, hey, why are we doing this? And it wasn't. For me, religion played a part in it, but mostly it was just, working shit out and being humans and adults about things. I think that, and again, I really dislike arguing this from a religious aspect because most people are, religion goes out the window when they get pissed off and angry and they feel betrayed and all of that. It shouldn't. I'm not saying that's an ought. I'm not saying that it ought to be that way. I'm just telling you that it is in fact that way. And so therefore I cannot, again, I'm just not going, I'm not willing to base my argument on religion for why there should not be no fault divorce. I like the way my state does it, which is uncontested, which means that if you both agree to get divorced, it's uncontested. Nobody gets awarded anything. They separate the assets, and that's it. You walk away with what you came in with, or what you've accrued, and you're done. And I like that a lot better. Where it gets messy to me, and where I feel like that it's a real problem is when we definitely have at fault, or there's claims of at fault divorce, where in reality there probably isn't anything there. That's provable in a court of law. It's just all hyperbole and nonsense. And I've actually seen a couple of guys go through that where they were, women. I mean, I don't know if you guys know this. I'm sure that, as adults, you've never seen this before, but women lie. Men lie.
No.
But women lie a lot. And women will lie about men in a heartbeat. and I've watched it happen over and over again. And I'm telling you, sometimes it's easier just to do the uncontested. You walk away, I walk away. But to be honest with you, I don't see where this helps women at all. I think women want at-fault divorce. They need it because that's how they get their payday. And so I actually don't understand why any female would argue for no-fault divorce.
I don't understand why everybody seems to think that there's a punitive component to the court's involvement here and that somebody needs to be punished. There's a contract between two parties. They now want to dissolve the contract and are asking the court to oversee the liquidation of the marital assets.
I agree with you. If it were that simple, I would agree. And I agree with you.
It is that simple. That is literally the simple. That's what they're doing.
Maybe for you it was that simple, but I've watched people.
My shit was hostile.
Was it?
Yes.
Did she stab you? Did she stab you? You can be honest.
Probably. How many times did she stab you? Actually, Screaming Beagle coming in with a big $2.
Able to get
clapping for the sunglasses. Super excited. Fabio Lorenz. Sarah looks so good in glasses. All right, that's a total of what is that? $7 towards iFi's boot. I set a goal out there, $100, and we boot iFi for the night.
Woo!
Since Flo has such a problem with him.
The Salty Siren, you cannot consider child support a payday in most states. In some states where there's very little oversight about how that money is spent and how much of it's actually used, then yeah, sure, maybe
there should be no. There's oversight is unnecessary on that.
I don't know. I mean,
you can look at a household and you can do the math and you can say this is what it should cost.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to get involved in that. I don't. To be honest with you, I think kids should be taken care of, and whatever, you should be adult enough to work that out. Unfortunately, humans are not. And so we have to have things that you are going to say are stupid, Flo. I agree with you. They're stupid, but unfortunately they're required.
No, oversight.
I don't think you should start with oversight. I think oversight should only be brought to the table if and only if the child is showing up with right. They're hungry. They are not eating. There's no school supplies. They're not being tended to. Then I can totally say, all right,
would still be oversight, right?
Bring some oversight and make them prove that they are taking care of the kids. Yeah. But I don't think that should be the default, the starting point, or you'd have to really, really have some hard stuff to be able to bring that.
I see no way in which babysitting people, like parents watching allowance, to make sure that child support is only getting spent in these, like, that's a bureaucratic nightmare and it serves no benefit.
But again, even in the
go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
Wrongful Rage coming up with the big five. Why is there so many blind people arguing? Wait, sunglasses. Good to
Our
see you. Our
future's so bright.
Grid One, Flow State, iFi. Welcome, thank you. And that's another 5 towards iFi's boot. We're up to I don't know, 7 plus 5.
I wear my sunglasses.
Big Jake's Ranch says children of divorce are scary.
Yeah, I mean, not that my experience is anything to go by, but my mom divorced my dad when I was like 2.
Did you internalize that blame? You probably should have.
I blame
So you
for that
basically, you grew up just knowing mommy and daddy didn't live together.
No, I grew up with a stepdad that I assume was my dad until I was about 8 or 9.
Oh.
Surprise!
Yeah, it was. It was kind of like, weird. Okay, it works out. I figured that out though. I mean, like, that makes sense. But yeah, my real father never paid a dime that he owed, and there was no court system that made that happen. So I don't have a really good point of view on this, right? Like, I don't have a prejudice one way or the other. I just know my personal experience was, whatever.
I got custody of my daughter when she was 2, and I've received, I think, I received $300 of child support in her lifetime when my ex-wife got her PPP loan.
Yeah, I wouldn't call child support a payday. Child support,
No, I
the
wouldn't either.
intentions behind it are made to balance the lifestyles of what the child is used to between the homes, and this is what prevents daddy or like mommy living in a mansion and daddy living in a single bedroom apartment, eating ramen, and mommy's got gourmet meals. The child support is meant to balance the homes and create a place in which it's not better to go to one or the other. It's balanced between the two, and to ensure that, there's delivery upon. It's, again, everything boils down to best interest of the children. And anybody that goes against that grain, I think, is a fucking asshole.
I really feel like that this is such an individual and per case sort of deal that I have a hard time arguing a lot of these points, because you can always bring up cases for both arguments, right? That, like, you can just say, well, go look at Taylor the Fiend, right? And just watch like 10 of his videos in a row, and you'll be like just completely sick at your stomach. But
you're talking about a different Taylor who was a fiend. Okay.
Not your drug
Taylor's
dealer.
also pretty
Not your drug dealer, Flo. Sorry.
His name is Taylor.
You know my first name is Taylor.
Is it really?
He is the drug dealer. Plot twist.
I did not know that.
It
fits, though. It fits, but it doesn't fit. Maybe if you shaved.
I can't do that.
Yeah, I just view Taylor as such a girl's name, so I can't call him Taylor because.
Wait, Flo State's a dude?
Surprise!
Passing pretty good, aren't I? I just turned it into a challenge. Taylor's became targets, and now that Taylor Swift lives in my city.
What?
Oh yeah,
I'm in Kansas City too.
Oh, that's terrible.
Hey, Tay.
So, Grid 1, in the context of a secular standard, there is no debate. It's just all like money and feelings at that point. There's really
it's
no
a contract,
value.
Right? I mean, it's
a contract.
It's a contract that you sign away, and
so it's a business
If
negotiation.
you listen to the red pill argument, it's a contract that rewards the other person for breaking it.
Yeah.
So it's like a corporation.
I think
or something.
that if that's the truth, you've kind of fucked up in life, and you deserve what you get. That's just my opinion. It's my opinion.
But that's why we talked about like having the ending worked out beforehand. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because
prenup?
like surely if you can't even broach that conversation as a topic, you shouldn't be getting married. Any relationships that can broach that topic and talk to that topic is a stronger relationship.
This is where you get into like my marriage is a covenant before God. And so I wouldn't break that with very lightly, right? But for a secular person or for someone who's lukewarm, it's a contract. I can't dictate to someone what their marriage is to them. I can only simply observe what it is, right?
But
Even some
is
religions, though, still recognize like adultery is not okay in the Catholic Church. I was granted permission, go forth, do what you got to do, honey. So even if that, and that would be who I would appeal to for fault or no fault, because that was where the vow was granted. That's where the blessing came from. That's where the marriage was, that's where it happened. So the state stuff, that's just a whole side circus of just, okay, now the church is okay with this. Now, now we're going to go through the state and figure the rest of that out.
So then, Grid 1, in the case where one person is a religious person and the other person's a secular person, which one gets to decide the terms of the marriage?
Why would you marry a secular person?
Because it happens all the time,
Well,
every day.
the answer is actually quite simple. When you stop trying to use word stupidity to make two separate things one thing. Obviously, since they're both married in the secular system, either one of them can go to the secular system.
Yeah.
The one that's religious can deal
true.
with their own religious nonsense with their priest, like Sarah did.
Yeah.
My non-religious marriage defaulted to the religious authority, so put that in your pipe and
understand that you
smoke
want
it.
as many layers between
these
that
sirens on
woman and
fire,
her
to be
ability to
honest.
leave you as possible. I would too. It makes sense, but it just I don't know.
Did you just say that you would divorce I-Fi?
No, if I were
Take me
iFi, I would
back.
want my wife to not be allowed to leave me either.
Oh, I got you.
No, certainly.
Okay, I'm sorry. I just the way that hit was weird.
Strong hit.
Yeah, you like the hit? Back or front?
I made it PG-13 rated, and Sarah's.
I went for the
kill. Right. Like the men are being the good ones tonight. Sarah's got to keep taking it to the gut.
Dirty.
Would that comment be grounds for? She pretended like she wanted to spit in one's mouth from up there.
Oh, that's just freaking gross.
Yeah, it is. No. Oh, there you go. Go off camera. Okay.
Now you're thinking about it, aren't you?
No.
What are you
Do
drinking?
we have a
What do your
choice?
spit taste like tonight?
He's got a Coca-Cola.
Nice. You all right, Grid?
I'm good.
All right. Need a minute?
No, I'm good.
I guess Ghosty isn't coming because she was the only one angry about this topic, but I think we mostly agree here.
Well, I think she's trying to play chess. She's burning up all the mental energy.
I still thought teriyaki was religious. Are you trolling me, dude? Be honest.
No, like genuinely, like if you've been following Theology Thursdays, like I came out like a couple of months ago saying that like, listen, I don't have proof for, I don't have proof against. Literally, I don't know.
Have you ever like got one foot into religion, or are you just like a full atheist?
Will you let people have their own journey?
I want to know where to take this discussion because he actually
we started talking about spit, and now Ghosty's on her way.
There you go. See, now we got her excited.
She's not on her way. She's coming. She might not join the panel.
Sorry, I had to take it there.
Because teriyaki, you made very good religious arguments, which was confusing me all to hell. I had no idea what you were arguing for then, because if you're coming through the agnostic view, that it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, because you didn't get married under like a.
Because in purely legal terms, it really shouldn't even be a crime.
You just started a business. It's
not a crime, you dumbass.
It's one of those like no harm things that the NAP people would be like, "What's the problem, bro?"
But if you're coming at it from a secularist point of view, you're basically starting a business with your spouse. That's what
right. And people break up businesses all the time.
That's what I'm saying. And so in that case, if there's no religious aspect or no,
exactly,
then no fault is actually because you can break up a business on no fault terms.
Because teriyaki was including the shame element to it, which I agree. That's the whole point.
I never said shame.
You were arguing for it. Whether or not you knew it, you were arguing for it.
Simply put, like for any judicial system,
there's $20 more. Where are we at with the I-5 fund?
It's not as simple as just saying it's a business, because then that erodes what like marriage is. The actual.
But according to the state, that you become an entity. That's the concept of
the legal contract, right?
Yeah, but it's so much more than just an entity.
The court doesn't tell you how to value your marriage.
I'm not sure it'd do you any good, Teriak, but Jim Bob's got a stream going called Arguments Against Atheism, so you might want to go get some.
Yeah, no, Jim Bob's he's taking me under his wing a bit. You know what I'm saying? He clapped me up in one of the debates we had.
He's clapping.
So don't get me wrong.
You did better than the social games would probably led you to realize.
Shut up and let me read this.
No, I can't fucking do it now.
Wrongful Rage has another sad story, so we went into the sad violin.
God, this is a long comment.
I know, and I love it, and I'm going to read it as slowly and as sadly as possible.
All right, go ahead.
Wrongful Rage coming in with the big 20. Here's what I'll do. Wrongful Rage coming in with the big 20. My mom came back after 3 years of no contact and expected us to act like she was always there. It didn't go well with me or my brothers. She didn't care, too busy with the new family. My dad wanted her in our lives, though. That's incredibly sad, Wrongful Rage. I already hate your mom, and I haven't even met her. All right, back to you, boys.
So how much did you make as a phone sex operator?
Obviously not enough. That's why I'm here.
$350.
I'm just saying.
That's another 20 to iFi's boot.
Woo!
We're getting closer. Getting closer.
Now, be honest. The reason why you're booting me is because TML ruined you. Isn't that what?
That is correct. Whatever you want to make you go easier.
What is TML?
I don't know. I was on a panel with him earlier, and he had a meltdown about you. So apparently, you touched him in his no place or something.
About me?
Oh.
No, Sarah.
Who am I touching?
TML. You broke him. He is broken. He is a broken man. I'm gonna see if he'll stop by and share with us why he hates you so much. It should be hilarious.
He probably doesn't hate me. He's been on this panel before.
Go back and watch the last panel I was on and see if you still feel that way.
I don't watch anything you send me.
Yeah, nobody ever does that.
Okay.
Sorry.
You're right. It was just him talking about you. That's right.
Why are you such an insidious little bitch?
I especially don't care if people are talking about me.
Sarah,
Trib, what I did was
if you're okay
talk.
after the other day.
See,
I meant to ask you. You were on the stream the other day. You were upset. You had a bad day. Did everything end up working out the way you wanted it to, or close enough?
No, not at all. And now I have to go back and do some more to get it to work.
Why didn't you do better the first time?
Because legal terms make things happen.
No, because your dumbass was ignoring part of reality in favor of La La Land. Allegedly.
Either way, it wasn't. Basically, somebody out there is getting away with being a piece of shit, and I don't like it. I'm very upset.
Shout out iFi.
I have to be both mom and dad in so many ways, and it just doesn't make me very happy.
Hey, as long as it brings in the money.
Shout out to Robert DeMatteo with the $20. Just thanks for the stream, buddy. Thank you. Robert.
Your other friend is here, Flo. It's everybody who flows.
I'm leaving.
Shit. I'm out. I'll give you a freebie.
Hey, iFi, are you going? Let's go to your channel.
Okay, let's go to my channel. Come on.
Oh yeah, go have
Party
fun
at my
over there.
house. Bring your own beer.
Said no one ever.
Yeah, it was just a joke though, iFi. So.
Oh.
Oh man, you
That's
crushed
like where
the
you.
soul right
That's like
there.
where you tell them like, yeah, we're gonna go to the next.
I mean, I
party.
thought that the joke was inherent.
Media's over there, and then nobody goes.
Yeah.
Just that.
Yeah, we're on our way, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I might come back if Ghosty gets on panel.
Ghosty's coming. She's coming. She's
all
coming.
right. I'll wait till she comes up. So I don't want to hurt Flo's feelings.
Last way you said that was not appropriate.
I'm not. I don't think Ghosty's finished. I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you. So did you kick him?
I took his ball and went home.
Oh.
He's still connected though. I'll disconnect. No free content over here.
So who